Today we have Victor Torres, great inspiration for me to get in the real estate business as he was a very successful club promoter in Miami Beach and decided to leave that business to enter into real estate. And he did not only go as a realtor, broker, now an investor of multifamily. Victor, great to have you here, my friend. You are one of the first people I met when I moved to America, and have only been great to me. Not only an inspiration, you were an inspiration for me to get into real estate. You were an inspiration a little bit ago when you got into the multifamily and the whole thing. But thank you for coming, brother.
Thank you
for accepting my invitation.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about why were you an inspiration to me to get into real estate. I think you know. So I meet you, you are a club promoter, baddest clubs in town, lots of people outside waiting to get in, and you there just printing money, driving a badass car, and then all of a sudden you tell me, no, I'm gonna leave that world and I'm gonna get into real estate. To me, it was like, this guy's an idiot. Who's gonna leave the nightclub life making cash to go do something else? And I thought you were crazy. But then I saw the car you bought, and I saw how you were making moves, and I said, wait a second. You sold me my first home.
That's right.
You sold me my first home, and I figured I gotta pay attention to what the hell is going on, right? You sold me my first home, me already being in real estate, which is crazy, but I figured I'd call you.
Thank you.
That's how advanced you were in this. So that was a pretty good story when it comes down to this guy is crazy, and then if he's doing this and he's doing good, I got to pay attention.
Oh, it was a different time, you know. I was looking to get married, so the clubs were just a fun thing to do during college. It was a great time,
Right.
And like you said, the money was great. You know, I bought my first apartment, the first cars, everything came from that, but it was just fun. But then, you know, real life sets in, and it was not something that I wanted to do for my future. So real estate was a great transition. By that time, I already had kind of got the first taste of real estate. I was using the money that I made from the club business. I bought my first investment in the beach. So that right there was just like, wow, something tangible that I was able to buy, and I'm like, okay, I really like this. And that's pretty much how the transition was easy, you know, and I you know, as an entrepreneur, I always wanted to do something on my own. I knew that I couldn't have that 9 to 5. I never had a 9 to 5 job. So it was just, you know, it just seemed like the right fit.
But coming from a guy that was washing your car, because that's what I was doing, washing cars, I couldn't understand who lives a nightclub life to going to working and selling for other people. But yeah, you made the right decision because I followed you.
Well, you know, that funny you say that, because I mentioned you and your story to a lot of people, and there's one thing that you taught me. You know, I don't remember if you remember that you mentioned this to me, but you know, you first came to this country and you're an inspiration. I remember your first job, you were like 17, whatever, you were washing
18.
dishes at Pizzeria Uno. And then you, I believe you started managing a car wash.
Washing cars.
Washing cars, then managing a car wash.
Yes.
Then you own your own car wash.
Yes.
So you told me one day, Victor, listen, it doesn't matter what you do. As long as you put your heart and soul into it, you have to be the best
At what you do.
at what you do. When I was washing dishes, nobody washed better dishes than me.
No one.
Nobody. And that right there is a testament to your journey and where you are today.
Yeah.
And I tell that story to a bunch of people.
No, that's great, bro. That's right. That's really nice of you. Because I'm thinking that I thought about that afterwards to teach my kids. You know, I have older boys now. But no, it was always like that. I remember walking around, the first guy, I will grab a brush, a paintbrush, the smallest I can find, and I will put tape around it so the metal wouldn't scratch the cars. And I will have a box of Q-tips. And I will be the only guy being detailed to cars. And I was getting paid good tips back in those days. when there was a lot of tips going on. And, I learned the difference between washing a bunch of cars and washing good cars.
Absolutely.
Then the dishwasher job, it was really almost like human slavery. It was horrible. That job is the worst. That and deliver newspapers, I think, is the worst jobs in the world.
Well, nobody delivers newspapers anymore.
Nobody does. Yeah, interesting. I'm glad I got out of that industry. But washing dishes was really almost like human trafficking or slavery. And I figured out a way to do it. I smoked cigarettes. I talked all day. I laughed. It was the cleanest kitchen through a system. And obviously, when I go into washing cars and opening my own business, but life took us unexpected turn, and I lost my business. I couldn't even sell them.
I remember.
I lost them. So I was jobless.
Yeah, they had to sell the gas station.
Everything. I just lost it one day on Wednesday. By Friday, I don't want you here.
Yeah.
And I have payroll to cover. It was just a nightmare. And my desperation is like, what do I do? Where do I go? I'm not going to work at McDonald's, or where do I go? And me, instead of saying, hey, give me a chance, give me a job, I'll drive you around, I said, the hell with this. I'm going to get this license. I'm going to do whatever my boy is doing. And somebody else in the industry that told me, you have to do this, right?
Absolutely.
Or two people. And then, obviously, lucky me, I bump into my mentor, Tony De Rosa, and he's turning 40, his badass house with his mojo. And I was like, I want to do what this guy does, which is the same thing. So remember my first few days, you drove by my office, say hello to me over there in the Palmetto.
I remember. You were just getting started.
Yeah, but I'm proud now because then you become a broker of your office, have a bunch of agents, make moves, and then you go and you get into the capital business and lending with a partnership, which you are great at partners. I can see how you continue. But I don't know why I'm blowing smoke up your ass. I guess because you're my friend and I have you here.
I
But
appreciate it.
but the intentions here is not to market you at all. It's just to, hey, I'm thankful that you're a big inspiration, big part of why I'm doing this. And then you got into lending,
Yeah.
and that's doing great.
Yep.
And then you leave kind of the broker's day to day with another partner, which is now taking care of that for you. And you're in your own development and your own investment. And that's,
Yeah, I mean,
man,
that's,
want to roll off some of that.
that honestly, that's, I obviously there's always, and in your story as well too, there's always stepping stones, right?
Yeah.
So I truly believe that where I'm at today is where I am the happiest. By all means, I was happy being a realtor. I was happy being a broker. I was happy managing my firm with a bunch of agents. But at least for me, there's nothing more fulfilling than when you're able to go into your own and, buy your first multifamily. Then, you get into the rehabbing, you get into doing more construction management, the projects get bigger. And that's really what I love. I love the fact that I'm able to acquire a building, roll up my sleeves, do the design work, do the construction management, stabilize the asset, and then lease and then operate. So that right there is where I've been the happiest, But I had to start somewhere,
Of course.
to get to where I'm at. But I mean, I really enjoy it. I have, like you mentioned, I have great partners. I have an amazing partner in the real estate firm, an amazing partner in my lending firm. We're celebrating actually this year 27 years
Nice.
that we've had our lending firm. We have the property management company that we actually created just to manage our portfolio, and it's just great bunch of people that I work with and that are my partners, and obviously we help each other out, we help each other grow. I hear sometimes that partnerships are not made for everybody.
Of course.
And I honestly think that I'm very blessed that for me, it's worked for me incredibly.
But with the people that you have
Of course.
bonded with.
Of course.
Partnership with not just everybody. I just sold a business of mine that I was thinking about it this morning. I feel that I got paid to get rid of him. So that's crazy. No, because you can look at it as I had to sell. No, I got paid to get rid of him. And there's partnerships that don't work and some.
Of course.
And that ability to gravitate to someone for so long. Your relationships are long, forever. I mean, since I know you, you keep, and that's important. That's an asset of yours.
Thank you.
There's a chance for anybody out there doing real estate. The different phases of this industry will allow you to make money and grow into an amazing career. And now, look, you're the happiest, and all the things that you have achieved. You've done great, and for him to be saying that he's happy, so there's a chance. On that note, you that manage so many agents, this is a mess right now. I think because of the situation that we're in, that there's so much migration, immigration. So there's a lot of things that were sold. The interest rate then always went up, and everybody had cash to buy. So we know what's happening. We don't need to say that, but we know what I think. A guy like you and me that have been down this block and not our first rodeo, something's gonna give here. What do you think is the mindset, the point of view that an agent should have? Because a guy like you and me will always find a way, but an agent has a license, knows how to put people together to make a fee, and this market is getting intense. What do you think?
Funny that you say that. It's one of those things that I've been asked
Several times
throughout my almost 30 years in this business. And, sometimes I've hit it right. Sometimes I haven't hit it right. The best way that I could say it is, we do have to learn from history. Nobody has the magic ball. It's like when economists talk, I laugh because they're like the weather people. Most of the times they're wrong.
Most of the time they're wrong.
So what do I think? Well, look, listen, you got to definitely work on building that client base using a CRM. Even though the times are slow, you got to always be building your client base. Always be building your client base. It's something that it needed.
Yes.
And when you have a slow time, it's a time to kind of take a step back and say, okay, I'm going to do things a little bit different. This business is not for everybody. No. To me, it's been an amazing business. It's been a beautiful business. But a lot of people get into our business thinking that there's going to be quick money, big commissions, it's easy work. So there's an oversaturation. There's always been an oversaturation of our business with agents that are fly-by-nights, So those are the agents that are not going to be around.
Yeah.
So you could tell those agents of about
Raise.
Do this, do that. It doesn't really matter. They're here just for a short time. Right. So and I think that the ones that have rolled up their sleeves, that they really love the industry. They see the benefits of the industry, not only for yourself and your family, but also how you could help, your clients. Mm-hmm. Because it's not only about, benefiting yourself. It's also about doing something good.
Yeah.
So those will get it. They know what to do, and if not, it will come to them. But something that I would say is work on building up your business. Work on building your brand, and that's the advice.
That's smart. That's smart. I'm actually going to consider that, and from your point of view, you're right. You're
working on that too.
I know, but sometimes we get a little cocky now, and we only select sometimes who we work with, and you forget a little bit about when there's a downtime and you got too much time in your hands. It's time to grow your business.
Absolutely. You're doing it now. This is a great idea.
Yeah.
The podcast is something that it's amazing. Not only is you have an amazing setup here, you got a knack for it. And this is how many weeks you've been doing it? 26, 27? So it's constant.
What are you, an accountant? What is it?
The important thing is that it's constant. It's in everything that you do, you have to be constant.
Yeah.
Whether you do marketing, you have to be constant.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I think that I feel that I did this and now I'm stuck, but I'm letting it flow. I think there are a group of, because when people private message me and say, hey, man, thanks, man, I like what I heard, and it helps them, that's great. I always think you help somebody make a decision. Did you actually grab me by your hand and told me you got to do real estate, please? No, nothing. Your example woke me up, okay? So I appreciate that nobody gets here by himself. I got here through Tony De Rosa, through you, through another broker that helped me, and many other reasons. But you pick those people.
Absolutely.
So I figured there's somebody was writing to me. I mean, insist that he wants me to mentor him. The guy is in Illinois. I said, I can't. I'm in Miami. How can I help you? Maybe one day I will be able to help you. I don't know. I said, keep watching and ask me what you need. But that's all I can do for now. I'm only just trying to help people in our industry when they were in predicaments like I was once.
Of course.
Social media and this and that and artificial intelligence. I'm all about that. But we can't grow fast enough. I think this behind the scenes, this thing is growing. And then you see things come out and we're too late.
Absolutely.
Have you thought about that? Where are we in this business with this new world?
Well, I mean, a lot of change, that's for sure. I mean, it seems like it's more fast paced than before. I remember when I started, I think the system of the MLS system was DOS. It was, it was talking about the dark ages.
What do you mean? We didn't have Google Earth.
No, of course.
We have the big books.
Yeah.
And you had the money to buy the books.
That's right. That's right. And and it's sure that was almost 30 years ago, but it tells you how much the industry has changed from then to now, and just now, just the last year, the last 24 months, 36 months, how much has changed? AI just came, ChatGPT is just blowing everything away, just being so, helpful. I would say, it's for agents. You use it the way that it's, if you use it, it's something that it will be. I mean,
no, it's a tool that
it's a tool. It's an amazing
that doesn't
tool.
end. It doesn't
No,
end.
it
It's
doesn't.
always
Correct.
answering your questions.
Yes. It's in constant motion.
I don't think people are using ChatGPT correctly. They think they're typing emails, fix this email. Yes, it works great. But if you are a person that you look at a deal, you can ask yourself questions that requires common sense. Okay, well, how much do you think this is going to cost me to fix this building? How long do you think it's going to take me to fix it? How much you think I can collect and rent, and how much you think I'm going to spend? You ask ChatGPT to run a financial calculation to see how much money you're going to make return on your investment, that you're borrowing at this interest rate with this down payment loan to value, and it's going to give it to you before. If you didn't study, you got to go hire somebody to give it to you. All you got to do is speak to it.
Absolutely.
So
that goes with the agent, obviously.
no, the questions. I tell everyone that asks me, AI or ChatGPT, let's just say it, it's all about prompt. How do you ask the question? If you ask the question wrong, you're going to get a wrong answer. But if you ask the right question, means you went through all the what if, what's wrong, what is my goal, and you put it to work, and it's going to give you the right answer.
agree.
So, I did CCIM courses to try to understand, because I had no understanding of this financial structure of how to analyze a deal, right? It changed my life. Once you understand, I do everything in a napkin on a calculator. But now, you don't have to study. You just have to have the question. Before, you needed to understand the mathematical equation. Now is your ask.
So
If I borrow at this price with this loan to value,
it's a little bit easier.
Super easy.
It is.
So
A lot easier.
agents need to know that all the tools are there. The only tool that will never give you is that human contact, how to reach to people, how to be in front of them, how to get them to trust you,
That's
and how to do your job and
extremely
help.
important.
Very
Extremely
important.
important.
So
You're
AI
not-
will
you're
never.
not- You're not the most important,
You're not.
because you need to have that contact to bring them in, so you could then be able to do what you need to do.
So I'm an immigrant. You are an immigrant too. I mean, what's your opinion on, or kind of tell me a little bit your story, but what is your opinion on this immigration, on this out of control immigration?
Like when we came, for example, when I came from Cuba in 1980, we came in the Maria boat lift. My dad was a political prisoner, right? So a lot of good people came, a lot of political prisoners, a lot of good people, but also a lot of garbage came.
Sure.
So I believe that when it comes to immigration, throughout, it's just, again, history repeats itself. You have good people and you have bad people that come. Whether, it doesn't have to be bad criminal. It could be just, maybe they don't have the same work ethics, which, the work ethics that we have are very solid, strong work ethics. There's some people, even unfortunately, even from my own homeland. I'm Cuban. I was born in Cuba. I'm proud to be a Cuban. You have some Cubans that come now that they don't have the work ethics that my parents had, than I have. There's amazing Cubans that come now too, that they are super hardworking, because I've had a lot of my cousins that come that they're ABA therapists, they're school teachers in the Dade County school system. But you have others that, and then, so, and the same thing from other countries too. It could be Cuban, it could be Venezuelans, it could be Nicaraguans. The way that I like to see it is there's always good people, and there's always people that have their flaws from every country. And obviously this is a melting pot, so we have a bunch of immigrants and it's constantly coming in. So that's my take.
And it's good because, I don't mean to downplay you, but Cubans didn't have the problems of the rest of the immigrants.
Absolutely,
Okay, you come here and you like
I agree.
bag of bread and your papers.
I agree.
Okay?
I absolutely
We
agree.
didn't know.
And I agree with you.
So you have to look at it a little bit different, right? When you have someone that has to be in the shadows for a while, it chooses different work, or life puts them in the positions where their jobs suck, where they live suck, they can't even drive, so they're more prompt to do bad things.
But we're talking about different things.
Right, no, but I'm saying,
way.
once now you realize that it was different when a bunch of Cubans came, how many could there be when they came? What, 1 million? When the big deal that Cubans came.
In Maria Bolívar, I think it was like 120 something thousand.
What are you talking about? That's half a day today border. And half a day, 100 grand.
Absolutely.
So
the borders are
the
now
critical part of immigration that we're having right now, and that is going to affect every angle and every part of our business, from the real estate standpoint, from any standpoint, is because obviously we don't have any control and the quantities are great.
I agree with you.
And I also believe that when you step aside from the Cubans, because they were forced out, and Cuba was a wonderful island. So anybody that came in those days, almost few little thieves, few little killers. Everybody else was just smart people, hardworking people. But when you're an immigrant like me,
okay.
I moved to America knowing that I wasn't gonna leave.
Absolutely.
Okay? But I had this status and the family and the financial means to go get a visa and an embassy, to get on a plane, to have a 2 ticket going and coming here and figure out what to do. The people that cross the border walking, they don't have anything
Absolutely.
that would allow them to do that.
Absolutely.
So there's a big chance that filter is the dirty part of the filter, right? In dirty, I mean only low. It could be wonderful people, a wonderful pastor, a wonderful, a ballerina, but from a country that financially they have nothing, who knows where they went to school, etc. It's very sad. So how do I feel in the obligation to help them? I feel in the obligation to help them, but not to help them financially, but to actually help them opening their eyes to say, like I told you when I was washing cars, be the best of what you do. You're going to be a farmer, be the best. Absolutely. Make sure they move you up the ladder. If you're going to clean toilets, go ahead and do that well.
The best that you can do.
Right? Probably they will promote you to now clean floors because you did such a good job in the toilets. So that's the only thing I can tell them. And I'm glad you brought that up because, you are an immigrant, I'm an immigrant, but situations are different now. And I think this country is in a little bit of trouble because of it. Okay. The lack of control. We cannot let those people starve. Okay, we cannot let them be sick.
And it's just coming to the end of the day, it's very sad because they're fighting to get here. They're going through
40 days walking.
It's heartbreaking.
Walking with thugs.
It's heartbreaking to see to just imagine their story.
For sure.
To imagine their story, individual. There's a bunch of thousands of stories in all of them, in those groups, because there's every single person has one story, right, or several. Every single person is one world. Like you are your world.
Yeah, of course.
So it's just very tough position because you feel bad. At the same time, you have a country that when is it going to, how much could it take,
The absorption, it was planned, and maybe a year we can absorb 2 million, but not that many.
Think about it, Hector. It's easy for us to say that now. Look how far we've come. We're citizens. You're going into your nice car. I'm going into my nice car. We're going into our nice homes. We made it. Do you really think? I mean, I think it's a topic that we could have that as a private topic, because not to be liars or anything, because we do feel that way. But man, how would that look on you and on me? That we're saying that we're immigrants. Obviously, you were not born here. I was not born here. And now, it's easy for these guys to be talking about not letting them in when these guys have made it. So it's tough. I mean, at least I feel that way. I'm like, I understand that a lot of people are coming. There has to be some checks and balances. But at the same time, bro, like, it's tough for me to say, don't let anybody in.
No. I never said don't let anybody in.
Or have more control.
But the control, because what happens is,
if anybody could be more like have that talk and be okay with it, will be a guy like you.
Right.
Because you came older. I started here when I was in second grade.
No,
you came older. You really you bit the bullet like my parents bit the bullet.
Total.
But at a younger age.
Yeah.
I didn't bite the bullet. I came over here and I went to school as a little kid. You know what I'm saying? My parents worked very hard.
Yeah, you didn't have any issues.
Oh, listen, my mom, she was a professor in Cuba. She ended up here as a Dade County school teacher, with her classroom. Amazing teacher, but she started here at a factory and doing nails after the factory, and then she worked as a cashier at a supermarket. And then, forget about her degrees that she had in Cuba.
More like her then, I guess, is my story.
Forget her degrees in Cuba. She had to go back, get her bachelor's here.
For sure.
Her master's here. She had to do all of that again.
Yeah, no, but look, I'm not against immigration. I'm only against on immigration that is so out of control that we're getting the bottom of the bucket. And there is such a thing as the bottom of the bucket, right? Because you can see someone in Africa and is now the number one runner. Okay, that's fine. That's one out of how many? Okay? But the majority of anyone that doesn't have hope, apparently, in their country, there's other things involved. And when you come here and you're not being helped correctly and you're not going to a school and you're not surrounded by good people and you walk 45 days being abused, being mistreated, being robbed, you're not going to have any chance to bring anything positive to this country other than to labor. And if it comes down to labor, we got plenty of new people that are willing to do the labor cheap. And I think we need to stop. And that's going to affect the future of our country when it comes down to spending from many ways, right? And the less spending, the more the country in debt, we're going to have to print more money, and that's going to bring problems to our real estate. Another reason why those that only to walk around with those licenses selling a home or two a year, they got to get out of the business.
Well, they're in the business fly by nights.
Fly by nights.
They're not the real professionals in our build. I'm saying that they don't handle it in a good manner. We just when you get into this business thinking that it's going to be easy, thinking that you get more in tune with the good commissions or it's you're getting into the business for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. Listen, we all want to make money. We all like to make money, but you need to have more than just a want to make money. You need to want to help. You need to want to be good at what you do to succeed. Know that that it's not an overnight success.
Right.
Nothing is overnight. You have to work really hard. And if you're not willing to, I remember when I first started, I think it took me literally 5 or 6 months to sell my first house.
Okay.
So it takes some time to build
And you knew
up.
a bunch of people.
Yeah. Well, back then we were all, young kids. Yeah. So, but that's the way it is.
Well, Victor, thank you, because hopefully those that listen to this, maybe some of them are going to get an idea of this is not easy, but it pays off.
Absolutely.
And you're doing great for yourself.
Thank you.
I love your friendship. Thank you for coming.
Likewise.
Wish you the best, okay?
Thank you, my brother.